Hey, greetings everyone. This is Mustafaa, your digital marketing specialist, the founder of the Digital Marketing with Mustafaa. We are live. We are back with another episode, bringing another guest to the stage, to the forefront. We are broadcasting live tonight on Facebook, both my personal page, my business page, Digital Marketing with Mustafaa, and we are also streaming through LinkedIn. So the audience will be diverse and well rounded this evening. I'm excited to bring the guest that I have today on, Meeka Monroe. She's from Pensacola, Florida. If you're from Pensacola, if you're on Facebook, if you're familiar with the Hidden Porch, I'm not inviting a stranger onto the show, but I really wanted to bring her on and to tell her story because she really embodies like everything that I believe. I believe that we have the power to build a brand. I believe we have the power to get on social media and leverage the power of social media to build a tribe. I believe we have the ability to communicate with that tribe. I believe we have the ability to produce products and content and services to feed that tribe. And in doing that, that we can actually build a platform for ourselves and build a engine and an ecosystem for ourselves. And the guest that I'm bringing on today, Meeka Monroe, she has done that times 10 as the story will be told. And as I will let her, just really share her story. And as always, when I bring the guest on, is for several reasons. It's for the audience so that they can learn things where my knowledge may have gaps and things I may not know. So I bring guests on to fill in those gaps and they share their knowledge, and therefore the community becomes educated. And also it's education for me. It's things I want to know. I'm not a person who fills his mind to think that I know everything. I'm always trying to learn something every day, thinking, what did I learn today that I didn't know yesterday? So when I have these conversations, I'm also sitting back listening to, like, okay, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna do that. So it's an educational moment we're gonna have as we get ready to bring Meeka Monroe to the stage. Let's get ready to show us some love. Let's bring on.
Hi,
Peace and bless. How you doing, sis?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I am so excited as I was in the opening, just trying to bring that energy to, just let you know that, the love is real. And I'm just very excited to have you on.
I appreciate that. I feel the love. Thank you.
Just watching you from, social media and seeing, the page blow up and just everything you built with your tribe. I'd say if I ever do a conversation, I definitely got to get her on at some point because it's a story to tell and it's a testimony.
Thank you. Yeah. I feel the same way, and I appreciate you for watching. Thank you.
Absolutely. So I didn't try to represent you. So if you would tell the audience who you are and just give them a brief background about yourself.
Okay. So, I'm Mika. If you know me, I'm Tamika. Everyone knows me as Meeka Monroe. You can call me Meeka Porch Keeper. That's what my porch sitters call me. All the porch sitters on the Hidden Porch. And so, what the Hidden Porch is, what we deal with is superstitions, folklore, magic, things that you heard in the South growing up, and basically, it's my family. We can dive into that, but yeah, that's what the Hidden Porch is.
Okay. And looking back, did you ever imagine that this path would lead you to where you are today? Or
Oh,
what were some of the
absolutely
things
not.
that said, you know what? I'm going hidden porch. I'm finna do this thing. I'm finna put this out there. What was
Yeah,
like
like this was not what I expected, like, at all. I actually started on Lemonade. I don't know even know if a lot of people know that's another social media platform. So I actually started on Lemonade. And I started doing little pictures and sayings and things. And this really started because I was trying to get my kids' attention. I didn't want to lose a lot of what I learned growing up, and I
Mhm.
really wanted them to grab a hold of that. And these days, everybody's attention span is like this quick. They want
Yeah,
everything instant. They want to know everything, and it's got to be within a minute, and then they're going to take that and run with it. So I
exactly.
wanted to create something that, they can read, they could look at, and then, AI came around
Yeah.
And so that was it helped me build off of what I was already doing because everything was already on paper. I started from paper, so I had no idea that it would be this
Yeah.
because it was literally on paper.
Right. 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 Let me put this. I believe that stories are important, and there are so many elders that we have who are up there in age, whether 80, 90, or even close to 100, and they have
Mhm.
a lot of history.
That's right.
And during the pandemic, there was someone in mind in Pensacola. They passed, and I kept having them in mind. So I'm gonna interview them one day. I'm gonna interview them one day. I just wanted to. They had so much history, and I kept putting it off so long till they passed. And all those stories are now in the ground with them. We're never gonna hear those stories, except for those that remember. So uh, what was it that made you want to just realize how important these stories are and just tell these stories for future generations or present generation?
For the same reason you just said. And I spent a lot of time with my grandparents. I spent a
Yeah,
lot of time with them. My mom was a working mom. She was a single mom. So I spent a lot of time with my grandparents, and they owned a farm, and there was a porch. And that's where I learned a lot of things. And so there wasn't that many kids out there. So
yeah,
I spent a lot of time listening to those stories. And as they got older and I got older, when they passed away, like you said, I actually wanted more. I wanted to hear more. I felt like
yeah,
it had to be more. I didn't learn enough. I wanted more. And then I didn't want my kids to forget what I had learned because
yeah.
they were memories. They weren't just memories, they were survival. They helped you emotionally, physically. They were things that helped you in life. So that's definitely, yeah, I would definitely say that would be that answer.
And before modern era, that's how knowledge came down to us. It was just oral stories. It wasn't no DVDs or internet. People just translated those stories generation after generation after generation, and we're benefiting from those stories that's been told and brought down to us.
Absolutely. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to preserve those stories. I wanted to hear more. So I actually I expanded. I expanded and talked to more people, talked to more of my elders, and that's how we kept building.
So, for those who are discovering you for the first time, what is the Hidden Porch? You briefly touched on it, but would you give us a little deeper? What is the
Yeah,
Hidden Porch?
yeah, because there's so much more. So the hidden porch, I mean, people would probably think it's social media. It started on
Mhm.
paper. It grew into just graphic images. From graphic images, it grew into, I want to say shorts, not so much as cartoons because they're clips with wisdom added to it. So the hidden porch is literally a place where our history, our ancestry is preserved. It's preserved in short stories. It's preserved in clips. It's preserved in storytelling. I myself am on there, so people can actually.
Yeah,
I'm not just AI. So
yeah,
you'll see
right,
me every now and then. You'll see
right,
me. I'll even put myself in the videos. But you'll see me also on the hidden porch because this is part of my history and culture. So when I invite people to the porch, you're invited into my family. You're invited into the Gullah Geechee culture. You're invited
yeah,
into Black spirituality. You're invited into Southern traditions and recipes, things
yeah,
that we cook. We talk about everything from succotash to spirituality on the hidden porch. So
yeah,
it's a little bit of everything. Folklore Fridays, we share a lot of folklore, and yeah, and we tell you where a lot of these stories are derived from, and the history and the cultures behind them. Because not all of them are Black culture. Some of them are indigenous. Sometimes I relate to Appalachian culture. So the hidden porch is a place where you can find all of those things, and you can find a connection, and it also allows everybody to see how we are connected because we share a lot of similar traditions, and they
yeah.
might have different meanings, but we do a lot of the same things all across the board. And
That's right.
that's what the hidden porch is. It's a way for everybody to relate to that southern hospitality, that spirituality, those southern traditions that grandma told you.
Yeah, right, right.
Yeah.
One of the things that, as I mentioned in the opening, I believe we're living in one of the greatest times ever as far as technology and reach and communication. I've reached people as far as the UK.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah, definitely.
you know,
Yes, yes,
I got
yes.
a speech coming up on September 26th in Indonesia.
Oh, that is amazing.
You know,
Congratulations on that.
and I'm just a little guy in Pensacola, Florida. I'm not leaving my city.
Yeah,
all I'm doing is using my, where is it? My smartphone.
that's it. That's all
All
it
I'm using is
takes.
my
That's
smartphone
all it takes. That's all
and
it
my
takes.
laptop,
That's
and
all it takes.
I'm building these social pages, and I'm building internet, and I'm building this content,
You're
and
building a brand.
absolutely, and it's allowing me to reach out and touch someone, like they used to say, reach out and touch someone. But we're
Yeah, you're
doing this
all over
now,
the globe. You're worldwide. You're all over the globe.
and so I teach people that this is a great time that you don't have to just be limited to your neighborhood, your city,
That's
your
right.
state, or even America or wherever you're from. You're not limited or locked down to that you literally can build a brand and talk to the whole world.
Global. It can
So
be global.
so one of the things that I saw with the Hidden Porch,
Sorry.
it's okay.
I have little puppies, so we are live, just so you know I do have puppies.
But looking at the Hidden Porch, that it has grown to a 500,000 followers.
Yes.
And you have some people out there that are struggling just to come up to their first 100 followers, or
Oof.
their first 500, or their first 1,000, and their first 2,000. And those are all good milestones. But you were able to successfully build a brand,
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
500,000 people. And
Yeah.
I think it was at 600,000 now. You're on your way to 1,000,000.
I think I'm at a little over 650,000 now. Yeah. Yeah. It
So
happened so quickly.
yeah, so if you will, what has that journey been like? Because I know that, like I tell people that even though you look at the most successful online person, they had to start at zero at some
That's
point.
right. That's
And
right.
and then they got their first 10 followers and their first 100, and then it was 1,000.
Yeah.
So can you just take us through the journey? What was that journey like where you started at ground zero, and then boom,
Yeah.
600,000 posts
Yeah.
later?
Okay, so like I said, I started at on Lemonade. I wasn't even on Facebook. That's what's so funny. Facebook actually has the majority of my followers, my largest followers. So I started on Lemonade, and it was just I started from paper, put my ideas on graphics, and it really wasn't ideas. It was things I did not want my kids to forget.
Yeah,
And when you have a picture that goes with it, you know what I mean. It
yeah,
sticks. And when you know your kids are online and they can just click and download it and keep it in
yeah,
their phone, don't forget mom told you that. Don't forget she learned that from grandma. So
yeah,
that's where it started. And from there, my porch, and I started calling them porch sitters because they start feeling like family. And
yeah,
more of them started coming in. And I talked to them like I'm talking to me and you. And they were like, hey, can you, and they were asking me this, can you write a book with all these sayings in it? I'm like, you know what? That would be great.
yeah.
Let's do that.
Let's do
So Lemonade started the Whispers from the Hidden Porch book, literally. And from there, they were like, you know what? You should go to TikTok. So I went to TikTok. And these are me listening to my porch sitters.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying? That's
yeah.
important.
There
You
you
want to
go.
listen to the people who are following you and listening to you. You want to listen to them. That's
There
how
you
you communicate. That's how you build that trust, and you're relatable. So I'm like, you know what? You're right. I'll take it over here to TikTok. Then AI came around.
Yeah,
Then AI came around and I took my pictures and I was like, you know what? Let me see if I can put my words on my pictures, how my grandpa and them used to say it and my grandma used to say it. That way the kids can understand what I heard. They could hear what I heard. So I
yeah,
started doing that. And I knew they were really on TikTok because they didn't want to listen. They didn't know what was going on.
yeah.
But the followers from TikTok from Lemonade came to TikTok.
Okay.
And from there, I said, well, you know where my people are? We're on Facebook, our
Yeah,
generation.
yeah,
Our generation, the people who will understand, because I saw how big it was once I got to like maybe, um, oh wow, like once I went viral on TikTok, I knew there was something there.
yeah,
Once I went viral, it's really kind of not easy to go viral, but then I kept going viral. And I
yeah,
was like, okay, there's something there. But then
yeah,
I was like, you know what? I want to bring it to my people because they're going to get it. They're going to get it. Our age group, they're going to totally understand, and it's going to remind them to remind their kids. And let me mention that they need to get this book because this is conversations that anybody can have. You can have with your kids. You can start from 5 years old all the way up to 95.
yeah,
Whether they have dementia or not, they're going to remember these. It's going to click,
yeah,
and it's going to be relatable, and it's going to bring back that joyous feeling like you smiling now. You
yeah,
remember what grandma said. You could smell those biscuits. You
Yeah.
remember them telling you don't split the pole. You remember, you remember a lot of things and you didn't know why.
Yeah.
The hidden porch is going to tell you why.
Yeah.
If you didn't know why your grandmama told you that, I'm gonna tell you why. If you forgot why she told you that and why your great aunt told you that and your granddaddy told you that, I'm gonna tell you why they said that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we forget, sometimes we didn't know, sometimes we didn't grow up with our people. So
Yeah.
that's how it built. That's where it started.
What do you think people misunderstand about this journey to build a brand online? For that person that may be struggling, say, I can't even get to my first 100 people, man. I'm about to quit.
Okay, the
What
first
do
thing
they
is you
misunderstand?
cannot think like that. You cannot think like that. You have to, and when I first went into it, it wasn't to be a content creator. So it really depends on what you're going into. I had a
Yeah.
purpose to provide knowledge, and I was told that it is okay for me to give this knowledge, and I'm going to provide this knowledge, and I want to give it in a way that people will understand and it will reach a lot of people. So know why you're doing it. That's number one. Know why you're doing it, and then don't be so hard on yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you're hard on you, if you don't take what you're doing, no one else is going to take what you're doing either.
Yeah.
You have to be your biggest cheerleader, and it has nothing to even do with thick skin. That's going to come with that's going to come with time. That's
Yeah.
going to come with, don't even worry about that. You're going to need it, but
Yeah.
it's going to come with time. And don't give up. And the biggest thing is consistency is key. Whether it's some of my early videos, I mean, some of them might still have 35 views. I don't know. I've seen some. And then I've seen the other ones with the 5 million. You understand what I'm saying? But you have to
Yeah.
start somewhere. The most important thing is to start.
Wow. And that was my next question. I was going to ask, what role has consistency played in building your brand? You just took it out my mind and ran
Yeah,
with it.
be
And said,
consistent.
yeah.
Be consistent. Don't give up. Start somewhere. Know what you're doing. Know what you're talking about. You
Yeah.
know, but
Yeah.
just start.
Yeah. You mentioned a few times AI, and I'm a proponent of AI. I've been cussed out for the past 7 days. I'm gonna do a whole video
Oh,
about,
that's daily. That's
but
daily for me for like the past 2 years working with it. So you know
man,
what I'm saying? That's
you
that's
know,
that's, that's nothing.
AI is really becoming contentious. Whether you're on side pro AI or you're against AI,
Yeah,
you're an environmentalist now. You pro, you against data centers. That is really becoming a battlefield, almost like
it
politics,
is.
religion,
It
or
is.
something. So, tell me a little bit more about this role, how AI just really helped you and just really took you to another level, and what can others implement AI if they want to use it on a positive level.
I love that you brought this up because we're not going to go deep into the whole data center thing. Look, I
Yeah,
love the earth, but there are a million of other ways people have been ruining this earth for decades. I'm going to leave it right there. So if we're not going to solve them problems and we
yeah,
know that these data centers aren't going anywhere, the best thing you could do is use it to give wisdom, knowledge that's going to help people, knowledge that's going to help rebuild society, knowledge that's going to help move us forth as a civilization
yeah,
because it's not going anywhere. I mean, that's just what it is. You know what I mean? And I'm not a big corporation. I don't have $1 billion. I don't control where they go. I had nothing to do with it. But personally, I feel like if you're in any type of field where AI can take your job, you need to learn it. You need to learn it. You need to learn how to navigate it. You need to learn how to you need to at least learn the basics. You
yeah,
need to learn if it's a possibility that it could take your job. But when it came to AI for me, like I'm an artist, I'm a painter. There's paintings all over here. It's not like I don't have art,
yeah,
but I took my art and brought it to life. Like I was able to have AI have this cat jump in the tree and the wind blow and everything. And I wanted to see it come to life because I can't sit here and stare at it and I can see it in my head, but I wanted y'all to see it
yeah,
because it was beautiful. And
yeah,
that's how I envisioned it when I was painting it. So
yeah,
AI can bring your art to life. It brings your ideas to life. And if you are truly into it, then you understand it's not easy as
yeah.
people think. Okay,
Right.
you can't go in there, and I don't go in there and be like, grandma said, and this is grandma. No, it don't work that way. It does not work that way. It can take an hour, two
Yes,
hours to
yes,
produce one of those. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? And then it's money behind this.
yeah,
So, at the same time, you have to, I just so happen to be creative. I just so happen to be tech savvy. I just so happen to be spiritual. You can be all those things and one and more.
Yeah.
and still use it as a tool, just like you use a hammer, just
Yeah.
like you use Photoshop, just like you use a filter. By the way, I don't have one, but I'm just saying, just like you do that, it's a tool and it depends on how you use it. I
Yeah.
use it to bring my vision, my art, my wisdom, what I know to life.
Wow. That's so spot on with how I see it as well. Because I'm of an age where, I published multiple books, but I did those before there was AI. I had to
Okay.
write press releases before there was AI. I was doing building websites before there was AI. So
Okay.
now that there's a tool out that can, allow me to work smarter, not harder,
That's right.
I'm gonna run with it.
That's right.
Um, a month ago, I rebuilt my WordPress website from scratch, just putting in prompts using AI.
Yeah, I love that.
Now I know about HTML, I know about CSS, I know about
Mhm,
JavaScript.
mhm.
I could have coded that from scratch, but I would have been doing that for days, writing the
That's right.
lines and
That's right.
correcting myself, and then you know, uh, correcting it and updating. I could have did all of that. I could have wrote it from scratch. But why, when there's a tool that, like you say, can bring my vision into reality through successful prompting? And
That's right.
I was watching Fast and Furious 7, one of my favorite series of movies, while the website was being built in the background.
Right. See, that's what I'm
I'm
talking about.
watching a Hollywood movie, and then the prompt is asking me, "Okay, I've done this much. What do you approve of this? Yeah, go ahead, keep going." And I'm
That's
going back
right.
watching my movie, and it's like my co-pilot.
That's right. That's right. I love that you said that too, because I do use AI as my assistant. I
Mm-hmm,
use it to help me schedule things.
mm-hmm,
Remind me that I need to do this. Okay, well, I want to set this thing up. I want to change this. I want to move forward with this, but I don't want to forget to do this. And then it'll help you financially. It'll help you keep your finances in order. There are plugins that you can plug into AI, right into it, that you tell it what you needed to do with the information that you're giving it. You're not just throwing it out there. Now I can understand some people do that. That's
yeah,
AI slop.
yeah,
You're not. That's nothing. You
yeah,
might as well just told it to create whatever you want to create, and I'm going to put it out there. That's not what we do.
mhm,
Okay. Um, just like you said, you have to be very strategic with your prompts.
yeah,
The more specific and detailed you are, the better. And
yeah,
that's what another thing that a lot of people don't understand. It's not just how I'm talking to you. I don't talk to it when I'm talking to you.
mhm,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
I have to talk to AI like it's computer, and
yeah,
it's taking commands from me because I am the master. I am in control. I just need you to do what I told you to do.
yeah, yeah. I just wanted to put that in there because the statistics say that I think 80 to 85% of businesses are solo runs, one person, wearing multiple hats. And then when we get to the black community, the number is about 5% higher. There's about 90% of businesses are one person. And I know what it's like to be a one person business where you're trying to run all the hats, including being the janitor,
Yeah.
reconcile the finances. That could
Mhm.
drive you crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we have a tool that can take some of that burden off your shoulders,
That's right.
where you don't have to be that one person operator no more, where you can kind of say, AI, do this, AI,
That's
take care
right.
of that,
That's right. That's
AI,
right.
get that done by Thursday at 5 p.m.
That is right.
Every Wednesday at 8 a.m., I need this report and I need this documented. Bring this to me every
You
Wednesday.
got it. You got it. That's exactly what how I use it.
AI, I got emails coming in on this category. When they come in, I want you to draft a response for me, but I'll approve it before you send it and I edit it as needed. And now y'all have an email assistant.
That's
That's
right.
taking a
That's
lot of weight off your shoulder if you're a
and it
business owner.
does. And it does. And it leaves a lot of free time to watch the Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
You
Or
know?
you can think about that next $1 million idea.
Or you could think about the next idea. That's it. And you can have that running that idea. Well, you know what? Do the statistics on the probability of this business being successful in the background while I'm watching this.
Yeah.
Because this might be my next business. Let me see how this works. This is why I love that you are doing this platform so you can show people that there is a way to use AI to just make things so much easier when it comes to running your business. But you are always in control. That's what people don't understand. We're telling it what to do. It's doing what we want it to do. It doesn't do what it wants to do. It
Yeah.
does what we tell it to do.
So we'll switch. Let's go into back into storytelling. What makes a story memorable? What's that? What makes that story resonate and people like, wow, that was it for me.
Stories that resonate from childhood, from memory. The stories that were lived, stories that almost every child had a Christmas.
Yeah,
Almost every child sat on the front porch.
hmm,
Almost every child's grandparents, grandfather, or grandmother combed their hair and brushed it and put it in a ponytail.
yeah,
Almost everybody had collard greens. You want stories that touch home, make you feel like you're at home, make you feel like, you know what, I live that. I know what that feels like. That's a good story when you have emotion, when it makes you feel some type of emotion.
yeah,
Whatever that emotion is, if you feel it and it's just changing and you get tingles, oh, I feel that. I know. That's a good story.
yeah, yeah. Has there been one story that you were surprised by the impact that it had on people that it really resonated? It was that one story, and people just like, wow.
Yes, and it's so
Tell us
funny
about
you
that.
mentioned that. Oh my gosh. Okay, so and it's so weird. So I don't know if I have it pinned or not to my page, but it's the story. It's the story of my grandfather cooking possum with sweet potatoes, and everybody could not believe that it literally had the head still attached to it. Okay, so let me tell you what happened. My granddaddy was cooking possum and he just skinned it and took everything, he took everything off of it. He cleaned it out, but he left everything attached and put the sweet potatoes around and baked it. And it was done. But when it came out, it looked like a possum. So
Yeah,
I literally made that a story. Now, AI literally put the possum with
right,
the sweet, just like it was coming out. And people like that, it drew them like, wait a minute. I see the cornbread on the table.
right,
I
right,
see the macaroni and cheese on the table. I see the collard greens on the table, but what on earth is that? They're like, no, ma'am, no, ma'am. But everything else, everybody they got that. But what drew them in was the possum. And
yeah,
then yeah, they were like, what? Why is the possum there? But if you're country, if you're southern, if you ever been to places called the hog pen, because almost every southern state got a hog pen, that's the type of food that they ate there.
yeah,
That's the type of food that you would eat at the hog pen. So, and my grandpa was really country. He was really southern. He was Gullah Geechee. We ate a lot of, and he was a chef in the military. So we ate a lot of foods from all over the world.
wow.
But I will never forget that possum, and that is a story that went viral.
I bet.
It did. It went
Yeah,
viral.
I bet you had a lot of comments on that.
I mean, I still get them because they're just like, no, the possum, not with the possum, everything but the possum. You know what I mean? And it's just like, yeah, but that was a real story. It's really true. This happened. The
Right.
food came out with the head on it and everything. So yeah, 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 it's real. It was my life, and it was surprising to see that go viral.
I'm gonna look that up. I got to see that
I
myself.
got it. Look, if it's not up there first, I'll send it to you. But it better be up there first because that's definitely I'll never forget that story. Never, never, never.
In a digital age that we are in, where we have these reels and shorts on TikTok, YouTube, why is storytelling still so essential and important as we move into we are in a digital and AI age? Why are those going back to those basics, those stories are so
Oh,
important?
we don't want to forget the good old days, and I say the good old days because history tends to repeat itself.
Hmm.
And there might be a time, whether it's in our era or maybe our generation or our kids generation or their children generation, to where history is going to repeat itself and they're going to need these, and if
Yeah,
we don't share them, they're not going to know.
yeah,
They're gonna know why people did what they did. Why grandma rubbed the vinegar and salt on her hands, because maybe somewhere down the line we ain't gonna have much of things to use. So maybe medication will be too high.
yeah,
Maybe the prices will be so high that we have to resort to a lot of survival techniques. And like I said, it might not be our generation, but history tends to repeat itself. So I don't want people to forget what helped us get through, what helped us not only survive, but what helped bring us together, what helped connect us, what helped make memories, what helped put us on the porch, what
yeah,
helped share traditions. shucking peas with grandma. That's something that you still want to do. Why are we doing this? Well,
Yeah.
we're doing it so we can talk and share these stories for one, but we got to clean these peas too,
Yeah.
and we got to feed the family so we can all sit around at the tables. And people don't sit around the table and do that anymore. They're surprised that people even did that.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of my stories, we do that because that's what I did. We sat at the table to eat. And I don't want people to forget that that's the things that kept us close.
Yeah.
That's what kept us and helped build our families and build foundations.
Yeah. I was interviewing a guy a couple years ago, and he was just talking about how modern technology. He was excited that modern technology will allow his grandchildren or great grandchildren or even great grandchildren to be able to pull up. I guess if YouTube is still a thing, then or video, and be able to see him.
Yes.
That they
Yes.
won't have to hear what granddaddy or great granddaddy was like. They can hear his voice.
That's
They can
right.
watch his facial expressions. They can hear the intonation in his voice. They can see, just they can just really experience him. Where, I don't know what my great great granddaddy sound like. I don't know, what was his mannerisms and thus and so. But technology going forward, someone could pull up this interview. What was Grandma Meeka Monroe about in 2026?
Look, I
And
can't
they,
wait.
and they can pull up this interview. I don't know what the format will be then, but they can pull it up and wow and
Right.
learn and just look at her and take
That's
from you
right.
that we're still these stories are going to be able to be told going into the future.
That's right. That's the goal. That's the plan. That's what we're doing. That's what we're going to continue to do. Yeah,
Man.
absolutely. Absolutely.
So, what advice would you give to someone who's afraid to share their story?
Oh wow, you have to remember that you're not alone. I think everyone always feels like they're not alone, but the beauty of sharing your story is there's going to always be someone who went through something similar or someone and you guys might not solve this problem the same way,
Yeah.
but maybe how they solved it might benefit you, or maybe the way you did things might benefit them. But you
Mhm.
don't if you don't put your story out there, and they're not going to know. And the fact that you want to share your story should make you want to share it. Anytime that you want to, anytime that there's something is nudging at you saying
Yeah.
you need to tell the people, you need to let them know, because it's going to benefit and help someone. you know that's
Yeah, he want
because
to
it's
get
going
in on that. He want to get on
yeah,
that.
yeah, because it's going to benefit someone. Then that's what you should do.
Yeah.
You go with your gut. If the first thing says I need to tell somebody, you go with that first mind.
Yeah. And I've learned so much from people because, like you say, sometimes we can get in our own world and think, man, don't nobody got it like me. Ain't nobody went through what I went through. Oh man, my
Mhm,
life thus and
mhm.
so. And then you just start hearing those stories and like,
That's
wow,
right.
they actually experienced that. And it makes it relatable and makes you understand that, you're not the worst or you're not, I mean,
Hmm.
your pain is real in that moment, not
That's
invalidating,
right. It's
but
real.
there's other people that have gone through it and they may have survived it and they may have left a path to show you how you can survive it and how you
Exactly.
can go through it and grow through it and come out on the other side.
Exactly. Exactly.
So for someone who is just beginning to begin to build a personal brand, what advice would you give them? The person who's like, hey, I like what she's saying. I got some stories I want to tell. What advice would you give them starting at ground zero?
Oh wow. Just stay true to who you are. It makes it easier. Like people say, it's easier when the truth rolls off your tongue when it's the truth. It rolls off easy. You telling your story is a true story. It's gonna come out. Just tell the truth. Be who you are. Whether people everybody's gonna take you how they're gonna take you. You can't worry about that.
Yeah.
You have to worry about the people who that message touched personally and that reach back out to you and they're like, hey, I understand, or I went through it, or thank you for sharing your story. Those are the people that help keep you connected to it. Those are the people that you want to continue to interact with when it comes to you telling your story, because like I said, number one, you're not alone. Number one, they need you. you
Hmm.
know so get your story out there. Don't be worried about what other people think, and stay true to who you are. Just stay, whether somebody believes that's who you are, that has nothing to do with who you are. Just stay authentic to who you are. If you're whimsical, if you're funny, if you
Yeah,
like to make people laugh, stick with that. That's who you are. You know,
yeah,
that stick with who you are, and you're gonna, and the right people are gonna gravitate, and you're gonna be surprised when you see them people come from all over the world that think
right.
like how you think.
Yeah. One thing we didn't, I can't remember if we touched on. If you would touch on, the power of content. I talk about that a lot. That content doesn't cost anything really. It doesn't talk. It doesn't cost anything to pull up your phone and record a video. Now you got a reel, or to write a social media post, or put something out there, content which is speaking your story and presenting your brand. Would you talk about the power of content, that people have the power to tell their stories and it doesn't cost a lot of money?
Oh yeah, I mean, you said it yourself. You have your phone. I mean, and almost everybody has a phone, and you don't need it. Don't look. You don't have to have an iPhone. It can just it does not have to be perfect. You don't have to have the best lighting. You can have a cracked screen. It's literally free. Okay, you have to start somewhere. Just like how me and you are talking right now. These were my first videos. They weren't AI.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to my porch sitters just like I'm talking to you. They weren't AI. I was just telling them things that I wanted to tell them. And it was just like me and you just sitting here.
Yeah.
So yeah, what's important is you're not spreading things that's not going to benefit people. That's what I think is more important about content.
Mm-hmm.
And then you don't want to be random with your content. You want to stick to something you either know, you want to stick to something that you're willing to learn more about, because you don't have to look. I don't have to take karate to start doing karate videos. You
Mm.
can follow me in my karate journey.
There you go. Yeah, that's right. That's
You
right.
understand what I'm saying? We can
Yeah.
go to the first class together. We can, and
See,
then you can see
yeah.
me, in my first match in the end. You can follow my journey. So it doesn't necessarily have to be something that you're already good at. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to.
Right.
I'm constantly still learning because, like I said, there are porch sitters all over the world, and there are porches all over the world, and we have similar traditions, but they mean different things. So I'm constantly learning from them, which sends me down another rabbit hole of other information, and I'm finding this out, and I'm learning about this, and okay, now we're going to share this, right? And but we're all connected, So there's different ways that you can do your content. Just know what you want to do. Make sure you're not just making it random,
Yeah.
and make sure it's something that you can talk about for hours any day of
That's
the
right.
week.
That's right.
Any day of the week. At,
That's
at any moment, somebody could walk up to you and you'll be ready to talk about karate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether you're good at it or not, it doesn't matter. You're willing to talk about it for hours because you like it. You want to be passionate about the content that you're putting out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was really, really powerful. I hope people heard that, or those that will listen in the future will hear that you don't have to be the master of it
No,
already. But if you
no.
take people on a journey with you,
That's right.
now they're your greatest followers now. Because they
That's
felt
right.
I came up with him. I came up
That's
with her.
right. That's
I remember
right.
when she couldn't throw a jab. I remember when she couldn't kick, she couldn't block, she couldn't do
Right.
any. But now look at her. She's a black belt.
Right.
And now, they're your biggest advocates. They're your
That's
biggest
right.
fans. And now they're gonna tell 10 other friends about you.
That's right.
Bring other people on. Wow. Yeah, that was good there. Now let's play what if few
Uh-oh.
last few questions. What if by chance social media went down and all the 600 port sitters were gone, and you
Ooh.
were tasked with having to start all the way over from scratch because your stories are so important? A social media crash can't stop your show. You got to start over. And you're like, hey, this day one all over again. What steps would you take to rebuild if by chance social media just said boom?
Okay, so no social media at all, right?
Well, let's say Facebook just went away by chance for whatever reason. It as a platform it went away, and a new platform came up and you had to start over with a new platform.
Oh, okay,
So
okay,
all your
okay.
600,000 people, they're
And
gone.
don't worry about the other platforms either.
Right.
Okay, okay, okay. Wow. All right. All right. That's a good question. I would say this. I'm gonna say this. Um, Outside of social media, I'm a real porch sitter with other porch sitters.
Yeah.
I go fishing with my porch sitters. No, literally, these are things that we do. We can record this and I'll take them on a journey with me. I go fishing with a lot of my elders. I hang out with a lot of elder people because these a lot of stories come from them. So I'm hanging out with them.
Yeah.
My grandparents are no longer with me. May they rest in peace. But they're no longer with me. So to continue as learning, I hang out with my elders. I
Yeah.
might ride to Mississippi with them. We might take a trip to Chicago. I've done those things recently with my porch sitters. So I would share those stories with them.
Hmm.
I would continue sharing my book. The way I've written my book, it's a read that will go on for decades, centuries. You don't need to change it. You don't need to. I wanted it to be an easy read. I
Yeah.
wanted you to know why people said this, why the way they said it, what it meant, point blank simple, because that's how it was. When your grandma told you to do something and she didn't tell you why, and you better not ask her why. You just went and do it. Now I'm still gonna tell you why,
Yeah.
but you're not gonna get the hand, you know what I mean? And somebody pointing at you, you might not get popped. You might not have to go get the switch. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still going to be out there sharing the stories. I might go to more vendor events. I don't really do a lot of vendor events, but if social media is not out there, then I'm going to make sure I'm at every last one of them. You're going to see the hidden porch. You're going to see that blue bottle tree. We're going to take it, with us everywhere we go. So I would definitely continue to get it out there. I mean, and just share my stories with people, share the wisdom, and I would never stop because the main point and the journey was to get the message out there. So whether social media is there or not, I'm going to continue to do what I'm passionate about.
Cool. Cool. You brought up another. Are you good on time?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I'm so sorry, y'all. Look, I have a puppy, and the other dog that kept growling is the father, and she
Okay.
keeps messing with him. Okay, so I apologize, but yeah, I do have time.
Okay, you brought up something you mentioned. I just wanted to dig into. You mentioned about your book and how important your book is. I believe that one of my missions is I believe everybody has a book in them, meaning
Yes,
they have a story or some knowledge or something they need to transmit that will help others.
I
And I
agree.
believe through books that we can have eternal life in a way.
Oh yes, yes,
Wherein, my flesh may go back to the earth at a certain point, but my book can be read 100 years from now, a
yes.
thousand years from now. As we see, there are books that are thousands of years old. The author is gone, but we're still soaking up their wisdom. We're still learning their lessons. We're
That's
learning
right.
about, what were their historical precedents and contents like at that time. So I believe that it's very important that everyone should write some book. It ain't got to be an encyclopedia, but you have something in you need to put on book form, so that when you're gone, your children, your grandchildren, or just society at large can partake of you and
That's
learn
right.
from you. So if you will talk about the importance of why you had to put your information in a book form
Yeah,
and
yeah.
why others may want to consider doing that.
Oh, definitely. Because if, like you said, there's no social media, how are you going to know who the hidden porch is? And also, it's also a paper trail. Books are a paper trail of memories and everything that we've done and what we and not. I mean, depending on what you put in that book, it's a paper trail of your life. It's a paper trail of our history. It's a paper trail of tradition. It's a paper trail of whatever you worked hard to put into that book, and it'll always be there. You can put it digitally. You can make a hardback. You can do a paperback. You can put it's on paper. It's words. You might as well say it's etched in stone.
Yeah.
It's that when you're not there, it's still going to be there long after. There's moments I don't even there. We have a whole hidden porch library. There's a whole hidden porch library. I rarely advertise.
Yeah.
That don't mean my books don't sell.
That's right.
The reason I rarely advertise is because I don't have to.
That's right.
There's power in words.
Mm-hmm.
There's power in word of mouth. There's
Yeah.
power in your so right. So when it resonates and it means something, people they're going to pass it along.
That
They're
is
going to
right.
tell more people about it.
And
They're going to read the reviews. They're going to see the 5 stars. They're going to be interested in learning more, and then they're going to see the other books, and they're going to see that, and they're going to want to learn more about you and who you are. Well, what else they got going? Let me go see their website.
That's right. That's
Well,
right.
they might have some products that benefit me. Let me go see what their products look like.
That's right. That's how it starts.
All of this, just like I said, it was Lemonade, then the book, then TikTok, then Facebook. So
Mm.
when I hit Facebook, I had already had the book.
Mm-hmm.
When there's 600 and over 600,000 people, and you introduce them to a part of you, they're already a part of you. They're already porch sitters, but now they can really be a part of you.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to push it out there, which is why I don't advertise a lot. I want you to find me,
Yeah.
because if you find me, it's meant for you to be there. You're
Yeah.
supposed to be on that porch.
Yeah.
Like some things you have to find. And I mean, I'm there. You're gonna see me. I put myself out there, but it's not about me. It's about the message. So that's why I like to use AI. You'll see me because I'm real.
That's right.
You're experiencing my life. I just posted a video of my great granddaddy.
Yeah.
That's my great granddaddy. This is
Yeah.
what he said. We was
Yeah.
on the boat.
Yeah.
My auntie, I have an auntie who's really like that. This
Right.
is really how she acts. This is my family. This is who I am. So you don't really need to see much about me. Don't miss the message. I'm trying to give you a message. You'll see me. I'm there. I'm real. I created it. I'm
Yeah.
not AI. I'm not AI.
Real deal.
But I'm right. But it's the message, and the AI just helped me, like you said, it helped put the message out there. And the book is going to keep the legacy of the Hidden Porch out there long after I'm gone.
Yeah.
Long after I'm gone. And if the kids and their kids and their children's children and children want to know who great 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 grandma Meeka on the Hidden Porch was, they can go get the book.
Yeah.
They
That's
can
it.
follow me on YouTube. They
That's
can
it.
find me.
That's it. Man, that's amazing. So back to the what if. What if you could sit on a front porch with any historical figure?
Whew.
Who would that historical figure be for an afternoon? And what would you hope to learn from them?
Okay,
Oh,
so are they here? Are they present or in the past? This is hard.
your choice. They
And
can
they
be
gotta be historic, so everybody gotta know who they are.
maybe.
Yeah, because I get it. I get it. Because my first thing would be like, I just want to see my grandparents again. But no, no, no. That's too easy.
Yeah.
That's too easy. Wow, you got me a little stumped there.
Take your
Yeah,
time.
because you know what everybody's gonna want to go back to. Um, that is so okay. Okay. I think I would want to sit on the porch with Malcolm X, and here's why.
Okay.
Malcolm X went through so many changes in his life, from where he started to where he ended. Just his whole life.
Yeah.
And I would want to sit down and ask him what made him turn his life around. What was that minute that I can't live like this anymore? I need to turn my life around.
Hmm.
Like I'm doing all this stuff. I mean, not in his words, not what we see on TV, because what we see on TV might not be that pivotal moment for him.
Hmm.
It could have been something somebody said. It could have been someone threatened, or I'm going to leave you, or you can't be in this child. But that pivotal moment when you said, okay, if I don't make a change, where would I be? That's what I would want to ask him that, because it was such a huge transition.
Yeah.
And you went from what someone would probably call it at one point a nobody thug on the street
Yeah.
to one of the most profound historic Black figures
Yeah.
in the world.
Yeah.
And where you come from is what people like to frown down and call certain people in society to this day. Like everybody is that person. Everybody to them looks like that person. And of
Yeah.
course, that's not what it is. But what made him change, that advice that he would give
Yeah.
today's youth?
Yeah. Powerful. Powerful.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. That's pretty much all of the questions that I have that I wanted to know. So I'm gonna uh, give you the floor. If there's anything that I didn't ask or we didn't talk about that you think needs to be talked about, or you would just like to address it, you have the floor to do so. You have the floor.
Oh wow. I think anything that I would want to know is just about your journey, because and where you come from, because you have other pages that you don't put out there, and you understand the journey. What advice would you give someone in my situation where I'm at?
Oh wow,
Yeah, when it comes to how I where moving forward, where I'm at and where you see the hidden porch, what advice would you give me?
wow. I didn't know that. I didn't know I was going to get interviewed. But let's
Look,
let's
I
let's
say this
let's do it.
because
Let's do it.
I
Yeah.
absolutely value your opinion. I love what you're doing. You are very, very knowledgeable in AI. You are very skilled in what you're doing. You're literally going across the ocean to tell other people about it. You know, so
Give me 1 second, sis. 1 second. Sorry about that.
no,
Quick
you're
family
fine.
matter. What will I tell you? To keep doing what you're doing. Um, I would advise. I would say maybe consider speaking, public speaking.
Oh, really?
I still think that's very very powerful because even though people can pull me up on YouTube, people can pull up my reels, I still think that in person speaking is still powerful. Like we saw during the pandemic, a lot of professional public speakers had to go virtual or go Zoom because there were no stages.
Right.
So that platform is still open where people can do Zoom and virtual, and that's how I'm speaking to Indonesia. I'm not leaving America and going to Indonesia, but they're going to pull up a Zoom in a room full of their students over there, and the little guy from Pensacola, Florida, grew up off A Street, is going to talk to the other side of the world.
That's amazing.
So the only thing I would say is adding public speaking maybe to it,
Okay.
where you go to those events and tell those stories in person.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe going to those middle schools where you meeting those young girls who are at that transition stage from little girl to young woman, and you're telling those southern traditions and those southern stories and those womanhood stories that only a woman can tell another young woman that's growing. I
Okay.
think I
Yeah.
think I think that would be very very valuable and a contribution from you, because I'm not the type of person who that I've gotten older and now I want to talk down like, man, these young people nowadays, man, my God, man, I don't know what to say about these young people. When a lot of us were wild ourselves,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
had a history. We were 12, we were 13, we
That's
were
right.
14, we were sneaking out the house, we were taking the car, we were drinking a
Yeah.
little something, smoking a little something. But we can't forget where we came from and remember that these young people, they're struggling with a world that we didn't grow up in.
That's right. That's
There's
right.
so much influence and so much, you got a whole TikTok world out there
Right.
where, 12, 13, we were naive, but there were certain things we may not have knew.
That's right.
12, 13, you got the whole blast that's
Yeah.
coming at you of influence. So I think that adding public speaking maybe would be a great thing to add and to do. And there's a saying that the most feared thing of people is public speaking, and the next second thing is death. So they say that people would rather die before they give a public speech because
I can see that.
it's so fearful. It scares people. you know, to
It
get
is.
up
It's
on,
a lot.
to get up on that stage and 100 eyes looking at you,
It's a lot. It's a
and
lot.
you got to think on your feet, and you got to come up with those stories in real time, and you got to transition, and you got to make this point connect to point B, and you're like, God, can I do all that in 30 minutes or 40 minutes or an hour?
Yeah, yeah,
And then
yeah, 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 yeah.
and then we want to do a Q&A with you. Oh Lord, I gotta do a
Yeah,
Q&A
yeah,
live and in person. I ain't got no script I can go by. I just gotta come off the dome.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
You know,
that's that's
that
that's a little yeah,
that be
task.
intimidating.
Yeah, it is. It is.
But
But you're right though.
I love it. You know, that's where I'm finna go in the next stage of my work is I'm finna start the public speaking side. You know, I'm going to Texas Southern University next year to give a speech. I'm going to Indonesia on September 26th. I got some other colleges and some other orgs that I'm lining up to take this message of digital marketing and AI and content. That's the gospel that I'm talking about. And I want to empower every person on this planet to understand that this smartphone right here, this is a powerful tool. You can
It
tell,
really is. It really, really, really is. It's
and
a
in telling your story, you can build an income for yourself.
yes, you can.
You can make money. This is not a get rich quick scheme, but the stories that you tell and the help that you offer to people, this can produce income for you. I do it every
Right,
week. This is no get rich.
right.
I do it every week. I haven't reached $1 million, but I make money every week
That's
just
right.
by sharing content on this little broken iPhone 12.
Okay.
I make
Okay.
money every week just by showing up, giving content, talking about what I love, digital marketing, AI, content,
I
building a
love
personal
it.
brand. But I want to take this to colleges, and I want to take this to Fortune 500 companies and
Yeah.
start speaking and making my living through speaking.
Yeah.
So I think that you got the platform, you got the content, you got the book, you got the followers. So I just think that you getting on those stages
That's the
will be
next step, huh?
just like the completion.
Okay, okay, okay. I like the sound of that.
I ain't trying to scare you, put you out there,
I
but
know, right? You know, especially when death is number two on the list.
but if you just would just think about that,
Yeah, I think I
that
am. I will. I will. I
that
will definitely do that.
I think that speaking would be like a next great opportunity for you.
Yeah, I like the sound of that.
And I don't know if you can see it, but I can see you on that stage. Just like
Oh,
you,
Lord.
just I mean, just like you always tell people like this, don't be intimidated by the audience. Just focus on the one or two people and
Yeah.
act like you having an intimate conversation with those one or two people, and the other people just so happen to be listening in.
Okay.
And that makes it less intimidating for me because if I
Yeah.
look at 100 people or 1,000 people, I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah,
do they
yeah.
like it? What are they thinking about? But I just go find those one or two friendly faces that, that's right. Yeah, go, man. I never thought, wow, go ahead. And I just focus on, I'm talking to them and they're charging me up and I'm feeding them and we're feeding each other. And the other people just so happen to be a witness to a conversation going on.
I love that. I wouldn't mind. Look,
And,
I'm full of stories now.
and just like we're talking and the passion and the love and the energy that you brought, you can just translate that to a stage. You can translate that to a stage, sis.
Yeah, I love the porch. I love my hidden porch. I love what I built. I love where it's going. I love the porch sitters I've met. I love the places it's taken me. I mean, not to even to mention the brand deals working with other brands.
Yeah,
You know, that's something that I get to do outside of the hidden porch from the hidden porch because of that. So, yet, like you said, there's money to be made there. There's money that can come from several avenues
yeah,
from that one content that you
yeah,
continuously produce.
yeah,
So yeah, yeah, I and I wasn't even looking for it to do that.
yeah,
So you know that was just an added bonus. It was just a plus. It wasn't what I was looking for, but the
yeah,
fact that you can and then turn it into a living because
yeah,
it's possible to make a living. It is possible.
yeah,
So you can be your own boss. You don't have to work for other people. It's so possible, and it's literally possible to do within a couple years. If
Yeah,
you if you're focused, you could do it.
I mean, wouldn't it be amazing to just wake up in the morning and somebody else didn't dictate your day, your whole day for you, 8 hours of your day,
That is my day.
and they're not they're not telling you when you can take a lunch break,
That's
when
my
you
day.
can take a break.
I set my own hours.
Wouldn't that be amazing, audience, if you woke up and decided, what content do I want to make today? How many lives do I want to change today? What stories do I want to tell today? And that's your workflow for the day.
That's your job.
And you know that at the end of the week or daily that you're going to make enough bread that you're going to be straight to live. That
And pay your bills.
this is
Yeah.
not just a hobby, but this is what I do for a living. You
That's
know,
I can literally say that. The hidden porch is what I do for a living.
so I want to experience that for myself. I'm not there yet, but I'm en route.
Look,
And
I mean, and it's and you, like you said, it's consistent. And what you're doing is definitely going to get you there. It's definitely going to get you there.
I just would like, everyone or as many people as can to experience that because I think that's real living.
It is. I mean, yeah, I set my own schedule. I set my own hours. People work around me if they want, but I can really work around your schedule. So, I'm very open. Um, it took me a year to get here though. Let me say that. It took me a year to get to the point to where I could do that, but I've been working on the hidden porch longer than that.
Yeah.
So when I say you have to start, you have to start.
Hmm.
You got to start. But yeah, I'm really grateful and thankful to be where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm glad you said that last part because so many people will start and then it didn't take off in 90 days. So, well, scratch that.
Yeah, you can't do
Let me try
that.
something else. Well, that didn't work in 90 days. So, scratch that too. And they never get
No.
nowhere because they're quitting before any momentum take off.
Oh man, I probably people probably don't know I've been working on the hidden porch since 2023.
Yeah.
And the idea to want to do it and put it on paper happened in 2020.
Hmm.
So it really was just up to me to start.
Hmm.
Now just imagine where I would have been if I would have started when I had it on paper.
Mm.
Just where would I be now if I would have started then? So you just and don't keep go and don't stop. Keep going. And remember that you're doing it for you and not other people first and foremost. When you
Yeah.
really start doing it for you, that's when you see just things really the doors open, everything just like you're doing what you love, you're doing it for you so you can share that knowledge because you have that knowledge to share with other people. Now you're getting those opportunities, you getting back what you're putting out there. That's
Yeah.
how it works.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
You put that knowledge out there, you're going to get those people, you're going to get other more knowledge back. They help you even grow even more.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So if someone's watching the interview and they want to follow you and connect with you further, tell them how to get with you and how to
I'm everywhere. Like
keep
I'm
everywhere,
everywhere.
everywhere,
Seriously, I'm
everywhere.
everywhere. Like you can Google me. No, but no, I am. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. Instagram is the Hidden Porch Official. I am on Lemon 8 still. Yeah, but I'm just starting to grow my YouTube. I haven't really been on that long, so y'all follow me on YouTube. So one thing I do like about YouTube, if you missed anything on Facebook, you can just go to YouTube and you can just sit there and watch them one by one by one by one by one. But Facebook does have literally over 1,000 videos and content, so you can definitely check me out at the Hidden Porch on Facebook. Um, there's a really nice digital footprint you can find. You can even put in the Hidden Porch on Amazon or put in Tamika Kelly on Amazon, and you're going to see the whole Hidden Porch library come up. We are also on Linktree. So if you're on Linktree, find the Hidden Porch on Linktree. And you can also find me on Printify to get your Hidden Porch merch. Yes, we have
There you go.
merchandise.
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah, we have Hidden Porch shirts. We have Hidden
That's
Porch
it.
mugs. I'm actually sold out of the white mugs, but I do have some black mugs, y'all. So they are, yeah, we still have some mugs, but I am sold out of the white ones. But yeah, so I'm literally I'm everywhere and on anything. And if you get lost, you can either ChatGPT, how do I find the hidden porch? Put in Google the hidden porch. You're gonna find me. You can't miss me. And that's basically because of like a lot of the information you put out there. We putting ourselves out there. You are digital. We're using we're creating a digital footprint that as long as the internet is around, we're going to be around.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. And other than that, I'm in Pensacola, Florida. You can probably catch me at the hippie festival. So I'm definitely gonna hit that up.
Yes, yes. Well, thank you, sis, so much for coming through and just blessing us with so many jewels and giving us so many insights and sharing your story and stories. I really, really appreciate it. I'm inspired, and I'm not joking. Like I'm learning as you're speaking, and I'm thinking of things that I can add to what I'm, trying to do. And your journey is inspiring me. Just as far as being able to be your own boss. That's very goal that I'm really trying to reach, to be able to dictate my own day and my own week.
Oh,
So
you're definitely on your way. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't even give you but a couple more months. You're going to be good. You're going to be great. And you
great.
definitely inspired me. So thank you for this opportunity because I've been dying to just do this for you with you for a very long time. I saw your other interviews. I love the people that you talk to. You have been inspiring me. So yeah, this has been phenomenal. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and we'll see you around Picola and the hidden
Yes.
and them hidden poor streets.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yes. Follow me on the Hidden Porch. I can't wait to see y'all.
All right. Peace, sister.
Yes, sir.
Hey, everyone. Digital Marketing with Mustafaa family. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Digital Marketing with Mustafaa. That was a really, really great conversation. I was really inspired and I was really charged up by that conversation. And I took a lot of things from that. And I hope that in you listening to this interview, whether it's live right now or in the future, you'll pull up this video that you can really pull a lot of nuggets from Meeka's conversation and sharing the stories and personal branding and content. It was just really a lot. This is something that I will pull back up and listen to again and just take those jewels. Check me out at I'm also on social media and the internet as well. Follow my digital footprint. I'm on Facebook at Digital Marketing with Mustafaa. That's Digital Marketing with Mustafaa. I'm also on TikTok under Digital Marketing with Mustafaa. I'm under oh my god, my mind went blank. LinkedIn, Mustafaa. You can put me up on there, Mustafaa on LinkedIn. My website is digitalmarketingwithmustafaa.com. That is digitalmarketingwithmustafaa.com. That is my one-stop shop website, which will connect you to my blog. I'm constantly blogging again, and so I got a lot of new content coming through the blogs. I have over 100 podcast episodes. I got about 400 YouTube videos. I got PDFs, white sheets, downloadables. I have a lot of content that I give to the people for free, and all I ask is that you use it. My new book, Digital Domination, is coming out in hopefully a couple of weeks. I'm just putting some final polish on it. I am a perfectionist, so I just want to put out the best possible product. So I'm not dragging my feet with putting my book out, but I'm just polishing it and trying to put out the best possible product. So we're looking at a, a few more weeks to put that book out, and I think it's going to be a game changer. It's going to be an amazing book for anyone that want to digital dominate and use the social media and use their phones and use content to just really make a dominating presence online in your particular niche story, personal brand, business. So that's coming as well. I'll be going solo the next couple of episodes, so I'll be picking up different topics and recording these live videos and speaking to you on different things that will help you advance in your digital journey and in your personal branding mission and dominating on these digital streets. So check me out. Check out Meeka Monroe, the things that she told you, the hidden porch. And we will see you on another episode. Peace.